Well, if we rule out what happened a few days ago, the much publicised attacks by Britain, France and America in that joint operation against the chemical weapons facilities in Syria, the only other nation that on a regular basis does attack various military locations in and around Syria is Israel. They're saying nothing at the moment. The US Pentagon have said there is no US military activity in the area. But it is known, of course, that Israel is very concerned about the build-up of weapons, of the heavy presence of the Lebanese Shia group Hezbollah in Syria. And, of course, there is still a dispute in the south over the Golan Heights, which was taken by Israel in the Six-Day War in 1967. They regularly targeted convoys and installations, and even last week, while there was still conjecture as to whether America and its allies would be attacking chemical facilities, there was an attack last week by Israel on certain facilities that were connected to Iran and Hezbollah. So all signs are pointing that way, and what has happened in the past is that they don't say anything until often days later.
And what's the latest on this team of chemical weapons inspectors who are hoping to get to Douma to investigate what happened there earlier this month?
Well, they arrived at the weekend in Damascus, and they obviously want to visit the site. Now, bear in mind that over 7 days passed since their arrival in the Syrian capital and that attack on the site in Douma in eastern Ghouta, which isn't far from Damascus. There was footage and denials, of course, by the Russian military, footage of their military policemen in and around the area very shortly after this chemical attack. They say it didn't happen. The Syrian regime say it didn't happen, and of course that is disagreed with fundamentally by the Western powers. So they're in Damascus. They want to travel there. They want to take samples. They want to possibly take bodies. It all gets a bit gruesome, and they can't get there. The Syrian regime say that they haven't got the right UN permits. There's also talk of it not being a safe passage yet to that area. But of course, this is part of a pattern with regards to aid convoys as well, and any international involvement when it comes to Syria. Quite often, aid convoys have been turned back. Often, inspectors elsewhere have been turned back or halted from doing their job. The Russian Foreign Minister, Sergei Lavrov, said there has been no tampering with the scene, but that certainly is something that the Organization for the Prevention of Chemical Weapons say is a possibility. And indeed, the US ambassador to that organization, Kenneth Ward, he said that a few hours ago there was a possibility there had been tampering at the scene. So we await movement of that convoy, of the inspectors, and we'll see if they are going to be given access over the next few hours or indeed turned back again for either security reasons or whatever reasons are given to them.